Hi, my name is Dr. Lindsay Zabritsky and I'm a board-certified dermatologist. Today, let's talk about how to formulate a skincare regimen, and we'll start with the basics. This is Skincare 101. The most important thing when making a skincare regimen is to stick to the basics. You don't want to overcomplicate things. You don't want to add too many things on at one time. So before we get into a good skincare regimen, let's first start out with some of the ground rules. When you start too many products at one time, you can overload your skin and actually cause more harm than good. Too many products on your skin can result in irritation, sensitivity, and acne breakouts. Second, you want to make sure that you're giving each product enough time to actually work and to tell how your skin is reacting to it. So to tell if a product is actually working, you need to give it about 6 to 8 weeks or about 2 months to tell if it's good for your skin. Typically, within about a week or two, you can tell if you're having a reaction to a product. I recommend before starting any product to take a small amount of that product and put it on the inner forearm and do something called a patch test. After a day or two, if you start to notice that you're reacting in that area, you know that that product probably isn't good for your skin. So I like to keep my skincare regimen very simple. 2 to 3 steps in the morning and 2 to 3 steps in the evening. When you're formulating a skincare regimen, it's important to realize that quality is more important than quantity. So always look for products or ingredients that are multitaskers and that are effective and efficacious. So the first thing you want to do in the morning is to wash your face. You don't always have to use a cleanser in the morning. You can just use water if you feel like you adequately washed your face the prior evening. However, this is a good time to use any kind of acne washes like a benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid if that's what you need. After cleansing, it's important to add your active ingredients. So in this step, you can use a vitamin C serum or any other kind of active ingredients or serums. You can use acne medications, rosacea medications, or anything that you need specifically for your skin type. For most people, especially if you're looking for an anti-aging regimen, or even a brightening regimen, I recommend using an antioxidant serum containing vitamin C. Vitamin C serums can vary in price, and they're all effective. It just depends on what your skin needs. Sometimes I do think that vitamin C serums are worth the splurge because they are very difficult to formulate. After the vitamin C serum, you can consider adding a moisturizer. Now, if it's winter time and you have dry skin, I definitely recommend adding a moisturizer during this step. If it's summer and you don't really feel like you need it, sometimes I'll skip the moisturizer in the morning. Following moisturizers, I recommend for every single person, regardless of what your skin goal is, that you put an SPF 30 sunscreen on every single day. Even if it's cloudy, even if it's rainy, even if it's winter, even if you're not going outside, you must always put sunscreen on. Even when we're inside, we can get UV rays through the windows, or we can get blue light exposure through our cell phones and overhead lighting. In the evening, the best thing to start out with is, of course, cleansing your face, washing the makeup off. You never want to go to bed with a full face of makeup. That is a recipe for disaster. That leads to breakouts, accelerated aging, and skin sensitivity. Some people like to do the double cleanse method. That's when you first use a step like a micellar water to get your makeup off, and then you follow that up with a cleanser to really ensure that all of the dirt, makeup, and sweat particles have been removed from your skin. For most people, if you're looking for an anti-aging regimen, the next step I recommend is a retinol or a retinoid. A retinol or a retinoid is a vitamin A derivative that leads to increased cell turnover, which leads to radiance of the skin and improvement in fine lines and wrinkles, as noted in many, many studies. It's also good for acne. So if you have acne or you're worried about pigmentation, aging, wrinkles, and fine lines, I definitely recommend a retinol or a retinoid. However, I do not recommend this for pregnancy or those who are breastfeeding. I always follow a retinoid or retinol up with a moisturizer. Retinols and retinoids can really dry out our skin, which is okay, but we need to replenish that moisture in our skin to keep it hydrated and to prevent peeling and flaking and intolerability of the retinoid. So as you can see, you don't need a million steps to have good and healthy skin. In general, I recommend applying thinnest to thickest whenever you're doing your skincare regimen. So a good rule of thumb is to always start with washing your face and then apply the thinnest product, like a serum first. And you also want to get the active ingredients as close to your skin as possible. Follow that up with something a little bit thicker, like a moisturizer. And then, of course, you want sunscreen to be the last thing that you put on in the morning, because that is your last line of defense against UV ray exposure. If you have any questions about formulating a skincare routine, it's best to see a board certified dermatologist to go over your skincare routine, your skin needs, and the type of skin that you have.